Yes. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, so we're going to start standing with that loop band between our wrists. So it's not on my hand, it's like right on the wrist part of my hand. Okay? And on an inhale, I'm going to bring my arms all the way up. I'm going to tug on that band a little bit as I exhale down. So I inhale, band is just a little bit tight. And on the exhale, I just press a little bit more, engage those muscles in the back of my body. And we'll inhale up. Press against that band, exhale. And one more time. We'll inhale. Press against that band, exhale. Connect those heels, connect those thighs. Draw the chin to your chest and gently, slowly, carefully peel off that wall. Choose wisely how far you come down. And then tug against that band, pull the belly in, bring yourself back up vertebrae by vertebrae. And let's try that again. Draw the chin to your chest. We're peeling off that wall. And the more I come forward, the more I scoop my belly deeper. Yep. I press against that band, and I pull myself back up. Let's take it to the front edge of our mat. Then I'm going to take my right leg and lunge back and bring my arms parallel to the floor. Okay. So my spine is stacked. My front knee should be over the ankle. My back heel is raised. Everything is facing forward. As I lower down, I'm going to press against that band and come back in. Palms are turned in. Inhale to exhale. No leaning. A lunge is straight down and up, not forward and back. Inhale to exhale. 4 more. Inhale to exhale. 3 more. Look straight ahead. Connecting the neck to the rest of our spine. 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. And 1 more. I inhale and I exhale. Bring it back to center. Arms are still long. I'm going to lower my arms and raise and pull them out. And I lower and I press. Inhale, exhale. How about those inner thighs? Can you activate those inner thighs coming up? And press. And 1 more. And press. I'm going to turn to face the other side. Lengthen my spine, connect my shoulders to my back. I'm going to tug on that band as I lower and release the band as I come back up. Out and in. 5. No leaning. 4. Good. 3. And 2. And 1. Take that back knee all the way down to your mat and add the other leg to it and come into a quadruped position. I'm going to have tension on my band and again still by my wrists and my hands. Okay? Keeping that tension. I'm going to slide my sits bones up the wall, chest goes forward, look straight ahead, and then C curve, chin to chest, eyes to belly. Inhale, slide those shoulders back and down, and then curl that tail under, pressing through that floor. And 1 more. I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to exhale. Take 1 leg back, flexing the feet. Press your back up against that ceiling. Add the other leg back to it. Connect those heels. Now, if this is not good for you, lower to your knees, lower to your forearms, whatever you need to do. I'm going to hold this here nice and strong. Tuck your tail a little bit more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring 1 knee down at a time. I'm going to stretch back into a child's pose. Good. And swing it around and sit on your seat. I'm going to close this door because it's giving me a little bit of right spot. Here we go. Okay. So my weights are close by, 1 on each side, so they are there when I need them. Then I'm going to slide my feet through that band until the band is to my upper thigh. I take my legs apart where my band is nice and tight. My hands go behind the back of my thighs. I sit tall. Give me a nice big inhale here. And on the exhale, draw your chin to your chest. Get all the air out of your center, tucking that tail and rounding that spine. The hands are not going to slide. They're going to stay right where they were. I'm rounding. I'm going to pull myself up and zip it up tall. Exhale. Inhale. At the very top, I extend nice and long. Exhale. Chin to chest. Push up, belly button in. Relax those shoulders. Bring it back up. Inhale. Exhale. Take it down. Hold it right here. Now back issues, if you want to put a ball right behind you, if you've got a ball with you, great. I'm going to take my arms away from my thighs. I'm going to take my right leg, lift it, put it back down. Left leg, lift from the core, put it back down. Exhale to inhale. You also have the option to give support to your back by keeping your hands behind your thighs. That's another option as well. And I lift with resistance. I exhale. I inhale. Exhale. The opposite hand as leg is going to come up. Bring it down. Opposite hand as leg, it's moving. That's it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more each leg. Lift with control. One more time. Take the hands behind your thighs. Start to peel yourself back up. And in a nice long spine. Good. Exhale. Chin to chest. Scoop that belly. Now this time my hands will slide down until I can lay all the way down on my mat. And I slide my heels directly underneath my knees. Tension on the band, arms close to the rib cage. Tuck your pelvis, lift up your seat off the mat, continue coming up. Peel that spine off that floor. Back of the arms are pushing down, shoulders are pushing down. And then we're going to slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let's tuck that tail. Peel vertebrae by vertebrae. Press those knees towards your toes. Squeeze your glutes, open the hips and chest. Exhale down for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Last one, we're going to stay at the top. Tuck your pelvis. Inhale, the very top. Exhale, freeze. Now you can just hold this. I'm going to add marches. My right leg tabletops. Put it back down. Left leg, back down. Stop when that knee is over the hip and keep those hips in a straight line. You're really firing those glutes to help hold you up there. And one more. 2 feet on the floor and then melt your spine back down. Now tabletop one leg at a time until they're both in that tabletop position. If this does not feel good to your lower back, feel free to put your hands underneath your seat, and you can also draw the knees a little closer in towards your chest as well. So in a perfect world, my knees over my hips and my shins are parallel to the floor. You're going to take your right leg only and slide it out towards the right and come back in. Do that again. As I'm moving this leg, I'm scooping my belly in and up deeper so my pelvis remains neutral and does not go with me. I'm using resistance against the band to go out. Use resistance to come back in. So it's the outer thigh and then the inner thigh. And one more. I inhale to exhale. Now other leg. I slide it out. I resist coming back in. Inhale to exhale. So you don't want to feel anything else moving, just that leg, and come back in. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Press it out. Come back in. And last one. Press it out and come back in. Now tap your right toes to the floor. And as it comes back up, simultaneously switch and switch. And that bowling ball is on that torso. That torso is not moving. Press and press and press and press. And we take it for 4 and 3 and 2, and 1, and 2 feet are on the mat. Gently take both legs, press them opposite directions, just a little bit, and come back to center. And press away from the center and back in. And we press away and come back in. I'm going to add on to this and one more. Take hand over hand behind the head. We're going to take those legs out. Hold it there. I'm going to crunch up. Just having my shoulders come off the mat and the blades. Come back down, bring my legs back to center. Press the legs out on 1. Crunch up on 2. Head down on 3. Legs together on 4. Inhale out. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Exhale, return. 2 more. Don't forget the breath. And down. And in. And 1 more. Now hold this right here. Try to curl up an inch deeper. Look into your navel. Get that lower back heavier. So where's your navel? Look at your navel. Now pulse. 8. Just the upper body. 7. Legs stay still. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold this one up. Now scoop deeper. Squeeze your heels together. Bring those legs up to a diagonal. Good. Now I'm going to sway my right knee and my right elbow across the table. They're going to meet, but not actually. Come back to center. Slide the left knee towards the left elbow, back to center. Exhale as I glide, center, inhale. And I'm trying to keep my navel anchored with my lower back. Now instead of stopping in the center, let's go to the right, sway to the left. Keep those elbows, if possible, in a straight line. Keep those heels lifted. And I'm gliding side to side. 1 more each direction. Can you guys feel your obliques? And then hold center. Take the head down. Bring the legs together. And put the feet back down on your mat. Open the arms out like a T, palms up. Let's float our knees to one side. And the shoulder that you're dropping away from needs to stay heavy against the mat. Use your core to come back up. And I float my knees to the other side. Keep that opposite shoulder nice and heavy. Come back to center. Grab onto your shins. Hug those knees into your chest. Shake that head no strain to your neck. So remember, when I cue, lift your head up. If that's not for you, keep your head down. I'm going to inhale on my mat. Stay there. On the exhale, nod my chin to my chest. Reach my arms long. Zip my legs up if possible. You can keep the feet down. You can keep your head down. But everyone's arms should be reaching long. And we're going to start to tap the water, pumping from the back of our bodies. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale to the nose. Exhale to the lips. Now this is not challenging for your core enough. You can take those legs a little lower, but make sure that lower back stays on the mat. Wrapping those thighs and scooping that belly. I'm inhaling. If you can't inhale for 5 counts, try 4. Feel the back of those arms, back of the shoulders. Don't feel this in your neck or your shoulders or your wrists. Everything is moving together. You got 1 more to go. Inhale and exhale. Hug it in and release. All right, rock yourself up. Slide that band down, halfway down the shins, and take those legs just wide enough that the band is tight. I'm going to grab onto my weights. If you don't have weights, you can do this without weights. You can also do this without a band. I'm going to reach parallel to the floor. Then I'm going to reach forward like I'm sliding my arms across an imaginary table. Then I'm going to start to roll back. I'm going to point my toes long, tuck your tail, Make sure everything is pressing into your center line. Arms straight up. Shoulders down. Eyes to belly. Now, again, everything is pressing into your center line. And we roll and we peel. Eyes to belly the whole entire time. And we bring it back. So if you're having trouble coming up, don't go all the way down, right? Maybe you stop here and go back up. But you go at your own pace, at your own level. Chin to chest, just make sure you don't drag your head. Now, as soon as my head is up, it's to the belly button. Look at the belly button. And reach. And bring it back. Lower those shoulders. Tuck that tail. Don't hold your breath. Eyes to belly. Inhale. To exhale. And bring it back. Arms stay parallel to the thighs. Shoulders are melting. Tuck that tail. Good. Now keep the arms here. Bend those knees. And extend my legs all the way up. And my legs have to be wide enough that my band stays tight. Then I'm going to turn my palms in. So my arms are going to go all the way out to the side, stretching my chest. I'm going to come back in. So keep the legs still for now. And I inhale out. Exhale in. Out. And lift. I feel a stretch in my shoulders and my chest. And I feel the strength here, the chest and the core. Now hold the arms straight up. I'm going to take my legs out and in. Out and in. Toes are reaching long. Legs are pressing long. Try to have the legs over the hips instead of away from the hips. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. My arms will do 1 rep on their own. Out and in, my legs out and in. Arms out and in, legs out and in. Inhale, exhale, out and in. Depending on how tight and thick your band is how far those legs will be able to press out. Draw it in, keep that back nice and heavy on the mat. Inhale, to exhale. Now, I'm going to add on to this. My arms are going to go out. When my legs go out, crunch up and reach those weights between the thighs. Bring it back down. My arms go out. They come up. Reach forward, crunch up as the legs press out. Come back in. Arms up, legs, arms, head, and return. Inhale. Exhale. You got it. 1 more, below outer thighs. Now stay right here and just pulse the upper body. 8, 7, watch those shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everything comes in and hug those knees in. Woo! Okay, weights down. And let's take that band and we're going to put it between the hands again. So I put my hands inside there, palms are turned in, feet are down. I'm going to draw my right knee into my chest and zip that leg all the way up and turn it out into a Pilates V. You can keep the opposite leg bent if that feels better to your lower back, or you can lengthen it all the way out onto your mat. Shoulders down, belly in, thigh wrapped, and that circle towards the center, down around 1. And inhale to exhale. Nothing else moves with this leg. And you're stirring the leg from the core. And now let's reverse it. Down around 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Round to come up 3. Inhale, exhale 4. And inhale, exhale 5. Switch the legs on a scissor. If you need to, bend that opposite leg, right? You'll make that back a little heavier. Shoulders heavy. Kneecap of the up leg is turned away. And then circle towards the center line. Zip it up 1. Keep that band tight. Inhale, exhale 2. Come up, 3. And now let's reverse it for 5. Away, zip up, 1. That opposite hip should not go with you. Round to come up, 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Anchor down more, kids. Woo! And hug both knees. Good. And let's rock ourselves back up, keeping the band with our hands. I take my arms right next to the outside of my knees. I'm going to put myself into a little suitcase. I'm going to balance on my sits bones. Hold it right here. Now, if you need to, you take your toes to the mat. That will help the lower back. So if the lower back's getting cranky, toes down. And if at any point you just had enough and need a break, lay back and hug your knees into your chest. So I'm going to take my arms up and my right leg out, and I come back in. And my left leg will go out, and I come back in. Inhale, to exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And place the feet down, let the knees fall out, and take the hands forward past the toes. Get a nice little release in those hip flexors. Good. And then we're going to bring it back up and release that band. Grab back onto your weights. I'm going to rest my weights on my shins and pull myself in like a little ball. I'm going to try again to balance on my sits bones. I'm going to keep looking at my belly button. Rocking is not for everybody. We're only going to do 4. So if this is not for you, hold the balance and we'll catch up to you. The chin stays to your chest. You're going to gently rock back to the base of your shoulder blade. Think of butt up, butt down. Okay? Don't use momentum. Gently bring it back. Gently bring it up. 2 more. Sometimes I roll well, sometimes I don't. And 1 more. Try to keep your feet close to your seat, never throwing your head back. And pause. All right, legs together. Reach those arms away. And we're going to roll it down all the way down for 4 and 3 and 2, and hug those knees in. Good. Now my arms are going to be nice and long, off my mat, palms are up. Knees are way in. Head down or eyes to belly. I'm going to draw my right knee in on a bicep curl. When I bring my other leg in, I reach my arms long. So I keep changing the legs as I bicep curl. So 1 in, 1 out, switch, other in, other out. I'm going to pick up my pace a little bit. Boom, boom. It's an inhale to exhale, to inhale, to exhale, inhale, and an exhale. 1 more set. Inhale, exhale, both knees in, hands on those shins, and gently release that head down. Shake that head no if you're feeling strain. Put 1 weight down and just hold 1 lengthwise, and my fingers will be reaching long. And I'm going to reach my weight for my ankles, drawing my chin to my chest if you lift up your head. So I'm going to lift everything away from the center. Hold, 2, 3, come back in. Keep the rib cage heavy. Hold, 2, 3, come back in. And I'm going to inhale, hold, 2, 3, exhale in. Eyes to belly, connect the arms to your back. And 1 more. Hold, 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 and return. Shake that head no if you feel strained. Roll those shoulders around if you're feeling strain there. And I'm going to put the weight into my right hand. I'm going to zip my legs up. And my right leg, well, eyes to belly, so we'll get that first. My right leg comes towards me. I pass the weight to my left hand behind that leg. Then my left leg comes in. I go around that leg and pass it. So I'm going to scissor as I pass my weight.
Try to keep those legs super straight. And if your head is lifted, make sure the shoulder blades are off the mat, eyes to belly. Pass it around in a figure 8. Bam, 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 bam. 4, 3, 2, 1. Weight on the shins and tug those knees in towards you. Get a nice stretch to that lower back. So my arms and legs are going to go straight up. Legs in the Pilates stance, shoulders are deep. Head can stay down, eyes go to belly. And if you need more support to your lower back, put your weight down and place your hands under your seat. Hold the arms still, the legs will go down, down, down. Arms back to the temples, hold. Legs, 1, 2, 3, zip. Arms, 1, 2, 3, legs. Arms. Legs. Be careful that lower back doesn't pop off your mat. Arms. And release. And shake that head no. We don't want to quit. Okay, rock yourself up. For obliques, we're going to use our loop band. Oh, hold your excitement in. Okay, so I'm going to take the loop band behind my feet. I got to take my feet wide enough so I don't lose my band. The band is optional. You don't have to use it. It's going to make it more challenging, more tension. So I'm going to lie down. My legs are apart. They're not going to be nearly as close as they've been, and hug my knees in. Okay? You can keep your head down, but it's going to be more difficult doing this. So I think that if we all just take our head up and put the hands right behind the head, that will help those of you who normally don't take your head up. But again, if you have a neck issue, keep your head on the mat. So all I'm going to do is push out my right foot and twist towards my left. Come back to center, both feet are in. Now my left leg pushes out, my left shoulder twists to my right. I come back in, trying to keep my shoulders off the mat. Exhale. Inhale. Keep that belly button heavy. Twist. Come back to center. And twist. Come back to center. Exhale. Elbows in a straight line. Yes. Get that rotation. One more side because these are so fun. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. And then release and place your feet down. Let your back arch off the mat. And then bring it back down. Let's do a stretch again for our back. Take the arms out. Let your knees drop to one side. The band's still underneath my feet. That's fine. Bring it back up. And my knees float to the other side. Keep your shoulders heavy. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of relief. Bring it back up and rock yourself all the way up. So I'm going to keep my band behind my feet. I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to press out as much as I can so I feel all these muscles here, right? And my feet are flexed. I'm going to take my hands behind my head. And I want you to really make sure that you're trying to start with that cervical spine and have it directly in line with the rest of your spine. And I'm going to gently press the back of my head into my fingers and my shoulders are relaxed. So I want you to feel like you're sitting on a box, and here would be the edge of that box, right about here, where my weights are, okay? And all I want you to do is tip one elbow just an inch. So I don't want this. I want just a little bit, and then back to center. And a little bit, so it's not directly to the side. And come back up. Now, kids, I call you my kids. I'm seeing this, and I don't want this. I want the spine tall. And you're going to anchor that hip and butt cheek that you're leaning away from. Come back up to center. Inhale to exhale. Think of your shoulders being slightly in front of your hips. So I don't want to be here, I'm more here. Make sense? Now hold center. Now rotate towards me. And think of growing taller as you rotate, and then come back to center. And then twist away without the heel shifting, and center. So as you're twisting, I see sort of like this, like resting on your shoulder. Try to keep that spine long. And one more. I inhale as I twist. Exhale and release those arms. Take that band off of your feet. Let's put it back into our hands again, or our wrists, I should say. Take the legs as wide as your mat. Now, if you're really struggling sitting tall with your legs straight, bend your knees. Or roll up your mat and sit on it. If I can't have your pelvis this way, it's got to be this way. All right, so tension on your band, palms turned in, flexed feet, back of the knees pushed down. Inhale, exhale, peel. Imagine you're against that wall and your lower back is staying against that wall. Now tuck your tail, pull that belly in, and zip up. That should be all belly, bringing you back up. Now crease more at your hips. Yep. Inhale, exhale, reach, hollow out that belly, look into that belly, and my arms are moving. Come back up. It's small, but they are moving across that table. Exhale, look into your navel, watch it going in as your arms go out. Inhale, bring it up. We'll just do one more. Exhale, chin to chest. Peel as I reach forward, reach forward, reach forward. Pull it all back in. It should be all stomach, bringing you back up, not your back. And release. Take the band on the shin portion of your leg again. I'm going to scoot my boot a little more forward. I'm going to lay back. Take your knees in first. I always like to do that first because that really anchors my back the way I want to keep it. Now I'm going to zip my legs up into a Pilates stance, but my legs aren't together. They've got to be apart. I'm going to take my hands to show you if you want to support your lower back more. Here's where your hands will be. If you really don't need it, don't want to do that, arms right to your side. Okay? All right, so we're going to take these legs alternating circles, first to the right, down around to the left, hold, then to the left, inhale, to exhale, keep that band tight. I go to the right, down, around to the left, and center. So maybe you need to make your circle smaller so your pelvis has more support. Maybe you should be here. You're still working, but you're staying within your level. One more side. Up. Other side. Bring it up. And then rock yourself up, straight legs. And take your arms out like a T. So let's keep the band there for saw. So I'm going to rotate towards me. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Now soft your baby toe. Look at your back hand. Anchor those hips. Inhale up. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Exhale, look at that back hand. Inhale up from the core, not your back. Look at your back hand. Lift up tall. Now spiral, spiral, spiral. And that was it. Back to the center and release. We're going to flip over onto our stomachs. And we're going to do a little bit of glute work here. So the band stayed where it was. I make a pillow with my hands. Don't fall asleep on me. So the belly is still working right now. So it's not like, oh, great, relax it. I'm trying to make a house for a mouse. Pull your belly button away from your mat. Squeezing your core, squeezing the glutes, lift your legs up and then lower. Lift up and lower. The whole leg is trying to lift up. Hips and pelvis are staying on the mat. You got it. I lift it up and then down. Inhale to exhale. Two more. Lift it up. press it. Now this time, as I lift up for my last one, glue your forehead to your top hand, lift your hands and your legs off the mat. Yep, hold it here. Now take your arms out like a goalpost, okay? My legs are still lifted. Now I'm gonna pull my elbows back as I press my legs apart. Come back out to your goalpost. Pull, back to a goalpost. I'm keeping my head and chest hovering off my mat. If you need to lower down, do so. Press out on the band. I'm squeezing those back muscles. And 3, crown of my head is long. And 2, and 1, and release everything down. Stretch back into a child's pose for me. Nice and easy. Scoop the belly and round the back. I'm going to come out into a forearm plank. So my shoulders and my elbows should be in a straight line. If you need a modified plank, you'll walk your knees back and hold here. If you're okay in a full plank, take your knees off the mat. Okay? Tuck your tail, pull your belly in, hide those shoulder blades. I'm going to take my right foot out and in, and then up and down. Left leg, now if I'm on my knees, I take my left knee out and in, and lift up a little bit, just a little bit, and back down. Okay? Right leg, out, in, lift, lower. Left leg, out, in, lift, and lower. Right leg, left leg, out, in, lift, and now lower back down. Flatten those feet and push off your forearms. Yep. Come back down and slide your hands under your shoulders. Band is tight, belly is in. I'm going to roll a marble with my nose so I lengthen the crown of my head. Now push into your palms as your chest lifts and your shoulders go towards your heels, and then lengthen to come back down. So make sure your belly button stays on the mat. Roll that marble an inch. Lift up, glide those shoulders towards your heels. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Those shoulders shouldn't be anywhere near those ears. Squeeze your booty. Come back down, and let's just do one more. Lift up, neck in line with your spine. Check it out, check it out. And return. Child's pose again to release that lower back. Nicely done. Now I want you to go into a quadruped position here. And I want you to take the left side of the loop band and put it behind your foot. But the right stayed around my ankle. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, belly pulls in, back is nice and flat. So the loop is behind the left foot. The left foot's going to be my mover. So I'm going to take this leg up and then down. Press it up, lower it down. Crown of the head is long. And remember, you can do this without a band. You're still working, I promise. And we go 4. Make sure your standing leg, knee and hip in a straight line. 3, 2. Hold this one up in little tiny pulses, tiny. And that core better be on the on switch. Squeeze that left glute. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. All right, now take that left side, put it against the ankle. Take the right side, put it behind the foot. If now your wrists are saying, I don't like this, roll up your mat, make a lip, and put your heel, your hand on top. Now right now, if I've collapsed my shoulders, this is not a good position for me to be in. So connect them to your back, crown the head long. Here I go, right foot. I come up, and I lower down. I didn't say lift until the thigh is parallel.
You're going to go until you feel you can keep the pelvis still and the hips in a straight line. I'm looking down at my mat so the crown of my head is reaching out long. Exhale, inhale. If you'd rather do the reverse breath, that's fine. Just breathe. 4 more here. Do you notice how one side is a little stronger? It's maybe easier. Get to know your body. Know where your weaker side is. Good. Why do you need to know that? Because you'll need to strengthen it more. Good. And then take both ends behind the ankle and stretch back and release those wrists. So I like to put my palms up and curl my fingertips to my wrist. Good. So I'm going to slide that off my feet. I'm going to come back down onto my stomach. I'm going to take this band behind me, and I'm going to hold on to it. You guys figure out what I'm talking about? I'm grabbing onto the west and east end of my mat, or my band, okay? My legs are together, and I'm going to keep, sometimes I look side to side with my head. I'm going to keep my head in neutral, so I'm looking down at my mat. My elbows are bent. I want you to kick your butt 3 times, little kicks. 1, 2, 3. As I straighten my legs, I straighten my arms and tug a little bit on that band, then bring everything back in and kick again. 1, 2, 3. Feet go down, chest comes up, press on the band, bring everything in and kick. 1, 2, 3. Now make a mental note here. When you're kicking your seat, try to have your pelvis just laying on the mat instead of poking it up. Make sense? And then stretch it back, feet anchored, chest lifted. Let's just do 1 more. And I kick. 1, 2, 3. Reach and pull. Come up an inch higher. And release the band. And we'll stretch back into our child's pose. Scooping the belly. Rounding the back. Nicely done. All right, onto our backs again. And this time, no band, we're going to use our weights. And we're going to be doing single leg bridges, which are really good for people with weak glutes, tight hamstrings. All right, so I'm going to take my arms straight up in the air, shoulders heavy, palms face my thighs, heels underneath your knees, legs 1 fist width apart. Tuck your pelvis and come up into the highest bridge you can get into. Shoulders are down, belly is in. Now I'm going to take my right leg and tabletop it. Hold it right here. I want you to hold that position while I lower my seat for 1 count and lift up. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Now turn the palms in as you lower. Bend the elbows, weights go towards your shoulders, and then straighten the arms up. Lower down. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Cross that right ankle over that quad, and now gently lower down your bridge. And bend the elbows and relax those arms down. Take the ankle off the quad, foot back onto the mat. Press those arms up, palms face your thighs, shoulders heavy. Tuck your pelvis, the butt comes up first. Then we peel everything else off. Take your left foot to a tabletop. Hold that tabletop. Lower the bridge. Lift up those hips. Inhale down. Squeeze that glute. Exhale. Lower down. Lift up, turn your palms in, add the triceps. I bend my elbows as I lower. I lift and squeeze that right butt cheek. Inhale down. Exhale up. 2 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. And 1 more. Cross the ankle over. Let that knee fall out. Slowly lower back down. Bring your elbows down.
Hold that stretch there with the bottom half. Take that foot back down, and then rock yourself up. Okay, release the weights. Let's go back to our loop band. Place your feet through the band to the upper part of the quad in the center, and then come onto your side. Have one weight close by. All right, so alignment, shoulder over elbow. Your free hand, take it around the rib cage and lift that rib cage up. Keep it just like that. Grab onto that weight. Elbows against the rib cage, the upper arms against the rib cage. Keep the wrist straight. Clam, open, close. So we always have opposition. My top leg is going up, my bottom leg is pushing down. And remember how I had you lift up that rib cage? Do it without your hand being there. Up and down. I'm also going to give you another option, but it may be too much for some of your shoulders. I'm going to lift up that bottom hip as I clam and then come back down. Up. You don't have to ever lift that bottom hip. 4 more. And 3. Good. And 2. And 1. Straighten out your top leg. I'm just going to press my weight into my mat. I'm going to lift this leg up to hip height and lower. So my neck should be in line with my spine, but if it's getting cranky, I can look down at that elbow. Take the free arm up and turn the palm towards that leg. Meet it halfway, and then bring it back up. Weight's optional, moving the arm is optional. I'm seeing some of you sinking that rib cage. Keep it lifted, that keeps the weight off that shoulder as well. 2. And 1. Now turn the palm to face your mat. Drive the knee in, reach it long. Drive it in, reach it long. Exhale, inhale. Watch that bottom shoulder, don't overweight it. And I drive in, press long. I drive it in from that belly. 2 more. 1 more. And release. I'm feeling like our triceps need a little bit more work today. So this forearm is going to wrap around, and you're going to come all the way down. Okay, my knees are towards the edge of my mat. This hand should be more towards my elbow than my shoulder. Okay, pressing through the heel of your hand. Lift up, straighten that arm. Come down. Yes, I know. It's not easy. But if we keep working on this, we eventually are able to do it. I've seen so many of you struggle to do this, and now you're popping right up. So you'll get there. Why are the triceps important? They help lift you up. And 1 more. And then release other side. Okay, I mean, every muscle is important, right? But we need those triceps sometimes a little bit more. All right, alignment. Shoulder, elbow. Take that hand. That's where you got to stay. All right, you ready? And clam. So glue the sides of those feet together. So don't lift that foot. Yeah, there you go. Lift. Where's that rib cage at? Connect the shoulder to that back. You can look down if that feels better to your neck. Now remember, my second set, I lifted that hip. You don't have to. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is when you're thinking, why do we always have to do 8s? We don't. I just do 8s a lot. 3. But in Pilates, there's not a whole lot of reps. 2. And 1. Lengthen that leg. Okay, so we didn't do the arm first. So we got into our groove here. Shoulders still pushing down. Try to keep it as light as you can away from that mat. Push this leg down as you lift this leg hip height. Now I brought my weight up. My palm faces that leg, and I meet it. Bring it back up. I exhale. Inhale. I hope you're thinking, wow, class is going by fast today. You're almost there. One more. Now the palm is going to turn and point towards my mat. Drive the knee in. Press it out. In. So it's abs right here. Now you're going to fire the glute to support that long lever. 4 more to go. Here's 4. And 3. 2 more. 1 more. Stack the knees, put down the weight. So this forearm arm is going to wrap around, and I'm going to lay down. The heel of my hand's more towards the elbow, not shoulder. Drive through the heel of that hand. We go for 8. Let's exhale as we come up. How's this side? Any easier? 6. Yes, good. Maybe you don't do all 8. That's okay. I'm okay with that. 4. But don't come down and take a vacation to Florida. Come right back up. 2 more. Last one. Last one. Woo! And release. All right. Keep the band where it is. 1 weight in each hand. Coming on time. Okay. All right. One of the classes I did this week, we didn't do teasers. Might have been last night. We're doing teasers today. Okay. And bring them down. Was it Teaser Tuesday?
Teasers.
Now, if we have the right form, it's more doable. So first, I nod that chin to my chest. Now, right here, my back is heavy, that lower back. Push up to come up right here. And that's okay. Maybe you just bring the shoulders off your mat today. So maybe we just start here with the first movement and then come back down. That's fine. Yeah, do what works for you. Chin to chest. Find that lower back. Lift up, inhale. Right here, I don't keep coming forward, right? Exhale, press against that band. Just 1 more, I'm not asking for a whole lot. Eyes to belly, find that lower back. Inhale, and then we'll exhale. Okay, weights down. Take it down towards halfway point of the shins, and then flip back over onto your stomach. Swimming, or a version of swimming. So many classes, we don't like swimming. Swimming is awesome. It is. So here's what we're going to do here. 1 foot and 1 hand is always going to be an anchor. So we always lift in opposition. So I'm going to take my right arm, left leg, head and chest. So I'm going to lift, so I'm pushing against that band. I come back down. I lift my left arm, right leg, head and chest follow. Bring it back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Lift up and lengthen. Come back down. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. Is your neck in line with your spine? Are your hips staying on the mat no matter which leg is lifting? 1 more. Opposition. And then stretch back into your child's pose. Scoop the belly. Round the back. How we do it on our time. All right. Just enough time to stretch. So I'm going to take that loop in and take my feet out of the band. Good. I'm in this quadruped position. We're going to do another cat-cow. So let your sits bones go up the wall, eyes go up the opposite wall. And we slowly transition, eyes to belly, tuck and round.
Inhale, everything releases. Exhale, everything scoops. Now walk your hands to your thighs and come up to a tall spine. Let's grab those weights. I'm going to do a chest expansion. Okay? So my legs are hand-width apart. Hips are pushing forward, belly in. Arms are parallel. On an inhale, sweep the arms behind you. Open your chest. And then exhale back up. Inhale, pull through. Open the front of that body. Exhale. Can you feel your hamstrings and glutes? If you say yes, you're doing this correctly. It's not about the hamstring and glutes, but to have my proper positioning, I need to feel those. This is all about expansion in the chest. Last one. Good. Now take your right foot forward. And here I am in a 90-degree angle. For some people, this is a huge stretch for the hip flexor. It's all they want to do. I'm going to come more forward, but my chest is going to stay lifted. I'm lunging forward. I'm going to release my weights and put one hand on each side of that foot. Now, keeping my hands exactly where they are, start to pull the butt back, lengthening that leg. Ooh, this is a hard one today. And then we lunge forward. Do you ever notice how some days you're just a little more tight? And then bring it back. It must be because I just did a bar class and my thighs are swinging. Lunge forward. And then bring it back. Straighten the leg, press the back of that knee down. And then come back to that 90-degree angle. Use your core, so pull it away from the thigh and zip out your spine. Can you bring that leg back and bring the other leg forward? If you need to, do whatever you gotta do with your hands. Just get in this position. I don't care how. So maybe you stay just like this. Okay? I'm gonna take it more forward. Take it more forward. I'll take one hand on each side of the foot. Now don't move the hands. I'm committing to holding them right there because your brain's going to tell you to slide them back. Keep them there as you slowly stretch back. Lunge forward. Hip flexor. Let's go back to that hamstring. Scoop that belly away from that thigh. Push the back of that knee down. Bring it back. Now from here, I'm not going to come back up. I'm going to flex my back foot and get that knee off my mat. And then bring that back foot to meet the front foot. Keep your hands on the mat. So I'm going to slowly, yeah, you did it. Now straighten those legs, scoop the belly. More hamstrings. Bend those knees. If you have to, maybe see if just the fingertips can be on the mat. Yeah, but head is heavy, around the spine, and then bend. Now keep your knees bent and take one hand on each thigh. Slowly start to lift up. You got some support for your back. Scoop that belly still. Come all the way up. Turn to face me. Bend both knees. You made it. It's like, oh. Now I want you to support. Keep this hip pushing down. Bring this arm up. Think of mermaid. But this hip has to stay anchoring down. So this would be wrong, right? Now bring your arms to a T. Now take this arm down. Now as I'm coming over, I'm pushing this hip down. I'm going to try and stretch as far as I can, keeping that hip down. Come back out to a T. One more each side. Feel that hip pushing down. It should feel good. It's like, this is why I came to Pilates today. It's not easy. If Pilates was easy, you'd have hundreds of people taking classes, right? This is hard. Now, as I straighten my legs, I'm going to clasp my hands to my lower back. Now, all I want you to do is slide your hands down, down, down. I'll turn this way so you can see. I started here.
I just want you to open up the shoulders and the chest. Don't lean back, but feel like you're trying to reach back further. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Feel as if you're pushing your left shoulder down. Bring it up. And as I take my left ear to my left shoulder, I feel like I'm pushing that right shoulder down a little more. Bring it back to center, release those arms. And give me a nice big inhale up. Exhale down. And one more. I'm going to sweep those arms up. And I lower them all the way down. You made it.
All right. Way to go. Give yourself a pat on the back.